Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out The Film Geek. Today I'm doing a collection update, and I also want to kind of bring you in on the collection a little bit. Now, the thing that's different about my DVD Blu-ray collection is that 90% of these DVDs that I have were all purchased at pawn shops, antique malls, thrift stores, and such. I at one point in time actually had a pretty good sized DVD collection, a lot of special edition Blu-rays and all this other good stuff. And you know, as things go, as life has it, I ended up having to sell my original collection of films and some retro games and action figures and things of that sort down, way back in the past. And so a few years back, I got into retro game collecting. I was really enjoying going around to thrift stores and game shops and so on and picking up retro games. And in the course of that, I started picking up DVDs again. And I just decided, you know what? I really want to just really dive into collecting film, not just formats, but film, movies, whatever I can get my hands on. And so I started going to pawn shops, thrift stores, and so on that I was going to looking for retro games, which I still look for from time to time. I still dive into the retro games. It's just around here, it's not that great, to be perfectly honest. The retro game market in Kansas City is pretty well tied up in the store vintage stock. Now, this isn't dogging. I am not ranting. I'm not dogging on vintage stock. I'm not saying they price gouge. I'm not doing any of that, okay? No, it's just, in my opinion, the way I see it is that vintage stock is around. It's a retro game store. There's a chain. There's plenty of them here in the Kansas City area. So it's my theory that why would you donate your games when you can take them to a vintage stock and get either credit or money? That's all I'm saying. So yeah, the retro game market just kind of got pricey. Not that I'm complaining. This isn't a rant again. I just like paying $1 for things, all right? So I started picking up more movies and building my film collection a lot more than my retro game collection. So 90% of the movies that you see are from the various locations that I've mentioned, and that's why I pretty much have DVDs, because I mean, they're the most likely that people get rid of because they get the DVD, then they get the Blu-ray. They don't need the DVD no more, so they get rid of it. And me, I don't care. I'm not collecting out of format. I'm collecting for the movie. So that's the reason behind my collection and why I do these videos, the collection updates, why I pick up so many DVDs and so many, not so many Blu-rays and so on. It's not that I like a format over another. It's just what I find out there. And I just want the movie, so I really don't care. Hell, I buy some VHS too, even though I'm really not a fan of VHS. There's just some movies out there, that's the format it died on. So yeah, if I see it, I pick it up. All right, so anyways, let's move on with the fun stuff. Now, first, I want to have a quick announcement. Now, as you may notice, if you're a subscriber to the channel, I am teetering. By teetering, I mean I'm at 369 subscribers at this time, and I want to get to 500, okay? So I'm going to do a contest at 500 subscribers. Once I get to 500 subscribers, I am going to give you an opportunity to win this Blu-ray that I just recently picked up. This is Dark Star, John Carpenter's first film, and this is the special edition Blu-ray, and it's cool. I don't know if you haven't seen this movie. If you're not familiar with John Carpenter, he's one of my favorite directors, easily my favorite, actually. Let me just put it that way. Favorite director of all time. The amazing stuff he can do on a limited budget. This is where it all started. So, 500 subscribers, this is how it's going to work. Now, you can help me get to 500 subscribers by, of course, sharing my videos, getting my name out there, helping me out a little bit. Then, once I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to make a post on the Facebooks. Okay, I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Twitter also, but it's just easier to do this on Facebook. So on Facebook, you're gonna look me up, all right? And I'm gonna make a special post for all the people on the Facebook. Comment on that post, and that'll enter you in for a chance to win John Carpenter's Dark Star. Just have to be a subscriber, find me on Facebook, comment, boom. So that's it. All right, so make sure I'll put the little links and the descriptions probably somewheres up in the heres or the down theres or whatever, who knows. Somewhere on this screen, there will be a link or something like that to let you know what my Facebook place is. All right, now, for the reason that you decided to watch this video in the first place, collection update. All right, here we go. Now, we were gonna do a hunt video, but just never had the time to really put a hunt together. So this is just everything that Charming Amy and I have picked up over the course of February. And then one big purchase too that really kind of cemented the idea of doing a one big day hunt. And I'll get to that at the end. So starting off with what I've found at various thrift stores and so on throughout the area. Everything here is from antique malls and so on. I don't remember where I got all of these. Okay, so moving in, here we go. We've got Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rat. If you're not familiar with Wallace and Gromit, get out from underneath the rock you live underneath. This is some funny shit right here. All right, moving on. All right, now, we did go to the Liberty. I remember this because it was unique. We went to the Liberty Antique Mall, right outside Kansas City, and I found like a bunch of classic movies. So any of the old classics I have in my collection, I got there. Well, I should say in this hunt in February, I got at the Liberty Antique Mall. So anyway, starting off with the Defiant Ones. Tony Curtis, Sidney Poitier. Ooh, this is old school Hollywood freaking Academy Award type stuff. This is an amazing film. If you're not familiar with the work of either of these two actors, this is a great place to get started right here, and that is The Defiant Ones. All right, it's they play two escaped convicts that are trying to get through the South. All right. Dial M for Murder. I am a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, love old Hitchcock films, found this one. Dial M for Murder, had to have it. A lot of these I picked up around $1, okay, around $1 for a lot of these, okay? Now this is kind of funny, all right, because I've had the sequel for some time, and I can never find the first one out there ever in the wild, and that is The Mask of Zorro. I have The Legend of Zorro, which is the sequel, and I always got them confused. So like I was out, I saw The Legend of Zorro, and I'm like, hell yeah, wait a minute, this is the second one. Not that it's bad, it's not as good as the first one in my opinion, but it's not terrible. But yeah, this is the one I wanted, but anyways, there you go. Zorro! Very happy to have Zorro. Also too, this is awesome. Nice little 80s slasher film, The Funhouse. Then Phantasm 2 I didn't need. I've got that in a box set. I didn't need that one. But I picked this up for two movies in particular. The Funhouse, which is from the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Charlie Hooper. God, I know horror fans are going to eat me alive if I'm wrong on that. But anyways, it is the same director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre who also did The Funhouse. I prefer The Funhouse, but that's an aesthetics thing, okay? Before all the fanboys start like, I could hear keyboards a-clicking. I love carnival horror, okay? I do. I love horror that takes place in carnivals and amusement parks and shit like that. So this movie is just more my flavor. I don't think that maybe it's a better slasher. I'm not gonna get into that discussion. This is just more my flavor, all right? I love this, The Funhouse, it's great. And then of course, a Wes Craven film that I don't feel gets enough attention, The Serpent and the Rainbow. I love these box sets, don't you? I mean, I love collecting these box sets because again, like I said, format, film, not format. Fish are friends, not food. Speaking of friends, kids, about a group of friends who are just little shits, all right? These are like teenagers you don't want to have as your children. Like when this movie came out, I think it was like 95 or something like that. Yeah, it was one of those like really, really controversial films. Like people were just like, this is too much, children don't act that way. Nah, man, we did. But I mean, I wasn't a child. I was a little older when this movie came out. I remember seeing this movie in theaters at the art house and all. But yeah, anyways, kids. It's just a slice of life little film about these kids in New York City. It's pretty crazy shit. All right, again, on the horror movie box sets, 8 horror movies. All right, now this, I am not making this up. I literally bought this for one movie, and that is Ghoulies 4. There it is, Ghoulies 4. as you may remember in my last video, I got a gift card from Evil Dead Inc. and What's Up Pam, and I went to the vintage stocks and I picked up the Ghoulie movies. I already had 3 in another box set, and then I picked up 1 and 2. I needed 4, and I found it. So here it is, Ghoulies 4. And dude, I do not believe there is a standalone edition of Ghoulies 4. I don't know. I don't think it's Full Moon. I don't know. Don't hold me to this, but I do believe there's only a dual disc, like 3 and 4, that you can find. And then this particular box set is the only copies of Ghoulies 4 out there. So to the best of my knowledge. Okay, now this one, I picked this film up mostly because 1, it was cheap, and 2, there's a fond memory attached to it. Charming Amy and I went and saw this film in theaters, and oh, it was an event. It was an event. Cats on freaking Blu-ray. I found this was at a thrift store. I remember this being at a major thrift, and all I'm thinking is somebody bought this like, oh, Cats, that musical, like that thing on Broadway? Yeah, sure. And they just bought this not knowing, because that's the only thing I can imagine. The only reason you would buy this movie is if you know, like me, or you don't know. And so I found this, and I can't believe it. Like, it is in absolutely pristine condition. They bought it, watched it, and was like, oh, Goodwill. Or I should say major thrift. Oh my God. So when you hate a movie so much, you just give it away. All right, moving on. Now, if I feel that everybody has that one like franchise or something, you know, it's a guilty pleasure, right? That's why we call them guilty pleasures. Well, I have a guilty pleasure, and it's the Underworld series. I've been slowly building back my Underworld collection. I'm not gonna pay full price for like a box set of this movie. They're not good, okay? I can openly admit that. The Underworld series is fun, don't get me wrong, but they're not something I'm gonna go spend $30 on a Blu-ray box set for. So I pick them up whenever I find them, and I found number 3 here, The Rise of the Likens, which is a freaking prequel, and as I've said a million times, I hate prequels, but you know, collecting. So this is another one here. I just remember I had this, The Grand. It's like some like casino type movie. I don't know. I picked this up again because it was sitting in, I'm not making this up, it's been sitting in like my Tubi TV queue for freaking ever, and I've never gotten around to watching it. So I'm like, well, now I could just sit on my shelf forever and see if I get around to watching that movie. It's got a good cast: Woody Harrelson, David Cross, Chris Parnell. I mean, when you hear Chris Parnell's in a movie. So yeah, I've just never gotten around to watching that. Okay, and this is also a funny story if you've been following my update videos, and that is my getting all of the Hannibal Lecter films collected, and how I keep buying the movie Red Dragon because I keep thinking I don't have it. But I finally did it this time, guys. I got Hannibal. That's the one I was missing. And I even have Manhunter. So now I have Hannibal. I've got them all. I need to get the film series or the TV series, but I never watched it. Is that any good? Leave a comment below and let me know if that series was any good. I don't watch a lot of TV. I also found out there VHS 2 on Blu-ray. I know that there's some people who believe that one's not all that great or whatever. I don't know. It's all right. I dig it. I dig it enough. It's okay. It's cool. It was a good enough purchase for $1, right? I don't know if anyone remembers this movie, Rat Race. This is one of those weird ass movies. They're like, you know, a bunch of comedians, you know, and they get together and they do a big budget comedy, and this is one of those, this is like a race film, and they're racing across the country to get $2 million, and I shit you not, spoiler alert, fast forward a moment before you get this, the film ends at a Smash Mouth concert. I'm not fucking kidding you. That's how early 2000s this movie is. It ends at a goddamn Smouth Mash. Is that right? Smash Mouth concert. Mouth smash. Mouth smash bad. Okay. Oh, and another fun thing too, the last movie or last video I did of this also, I picked up Bloodsport. Now I have Kickboxer. I like Van Damme. I like Van Damme so much more than Seagal. I don't even think they're comparable. People are like, you're either a Seagal fan or you're a Van Damme fan. They're not even in the same freaking wheelhouse, man. This dude has what I call talent. Okay, also too, Reefer Madness. Be waiting for a special holiday coming up in April where I am going to do a film commentary, riff film commentary with some friends of mine. What's Up Pam is signed on. I'm hoping other friends will join me, but if you know what I'm saying. Reefer Madness. Holiday in April. All right. This is another one, a really fun, well, I shouldn't say fun, but Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, god dang it, Collateral. All right, this is where Tom Cruise plays a hitman. Jamie Foxx is a taxi driver driving him around all night. It's a pretty freaking intense, really intense movie. All right, this one I was really happy with. I was really excited to get this one. This is the Donald Sutherland Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Again, if you go back to one of my videos, I picked up the original 50s Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and this is really... This is one of those remakes that did it right and improved on the original. It's a very, 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 very rare thing that happens, especially in horror films, that the remake is better than the original. But that's it right there. Donald Sutherland, I want to say this was 1974 or something like that. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. All right, another extremely underrated horror film, or you might call it a thriller, and that is Frailty. This is a Matthew McConaughey is in this film, Bill Paxton. It's about a father who either is telling the truth that he was a demon slayer, he might have something going on wrong in his head. It could be a thriller, it could be a slasher film. It's one of those highbrow horror films, but not in like the snooty, kind of way, just like the I would like an Academy Award kind of horror movie. This is a good film though. Check it out if you don't know, if you haven't seen it. Frailty. This is one of those movies that we probably will talk about here in the future. I was happy with this one also. April Fool's Day. Oh, Again, on my love of the slasher genre, April Fool's Day, Deborah Foreman. This is 80s slasher gold. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because it's got a little twisty twist in it. It's one of those little slashers with a little twisty twist in it. And you'd love it. It's a comedy also. I'm going to throw that out there too. It is a horror comedy. It's not really supposed to be taken seriously. This is a very odd musical. This is a very odd movie. But did you all know that there's a musical starring Clint Eastwood and Lee Marvin called Paint Your Wagon, where they play prospectors in like a really, prospect town or whatever they were called, those towns that popped up overnight during the gold rush that then kind of fell apart and can become ghost cities and whatnots? Yeah, there's a musical about that. There's right here, Paint Your Wagon. This actually was a family favorite of mine. So when I saw this one, again, this is at the Liberty Antique Mall, I had to have this movie. It's not, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back. I haven't watched this movie since I was like a kid. Not kidding. All right, now this is another movie. Do not get this confused, by the way, with another film by the same name, and that is Frozen. This is the Adam Green directed horror film about people getting stuck on a ski lift where they start freezing and wolves start coming after them and stuffs. This is not the Frozen with the Let It Go and the little snowman singing about melting and shit. This is about people dying. And this is not tongue-in-cheek either, like the Hatchet franchise. This is serious, tense, on the seat of the chair horror. So, dude, I love this movie. This film is just, this is great. This is a good film. Really good stuff here. If you have not seen Frozen, check it out. I'm just looking here because now I'm doubting myself. Yes. Okay, thank you. It is Adam Green. So here you go. I'm like, oh God, I hate when I say stuff like that and it's wrong, and people start hating on me. So actually they just joke. I don't get a lot of hate. It's mostly just jokes. They're like, it's pronounced like this, but anywho, I'm used to it. But I digress. I'm off subject again. All right, so this is a little Mark Wahlberg, Lou Diamond Phillips action film called The Big Hit. It's a lot of fun. It's a very stylized, very, very freaking 90s, very 90s, just action film. If you've not seen this is something you need to check out. I'm gonna say we'll probably get to that one of these days, so stick around. Martin Scorsese, another one of my all-time favorite directors, and now I have Taxi Driver. Oh man, this movie back in the day when I saw this the first time, it just blew my freaking mind. I still have my original VHS of this one, okay? I really do around here. This movie was just the thing. I really dug it. All right. Again with the classics. The Day the Earth Stood Still, the of course sci-fi classic allegory for, it's either the environment or the nuclear bomb. I can't remember which one, but it's one of those. This is again in the realm of just absolutely fun action films. The Last Boy Scout, Damon Wayans, Bruce Willis, 90s action at its finest, just stupid, buddy cop shenanigans. What else can I say? Yes, it's a very oversaturated world, and this one's just, it's pretty good. I like it. And you know what? This is those little weirdo, I always hated those freaking cases. All right, and moving on, we have Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Now, about a year ago, this would have been one amazing find, an out-of-print, very expensive DVD, and then when the third film came out, they put out a Blu-ray, and well, I guess there was the Blu-ray that already existed, but it was also very pricey. But anyways, Bogus Journey was very hard to get your hands on at one point in time. Now it's not so hard, but that's cool. Who cares? Who cares? I have Bogus Journey now. I don't care. I'm happy to have it. Alrighty, I also picked up the movie MASH, not the TV series, as some of you might know. This is the film that it's based off of, and it's a great film. An unexpected, not too bad of a movie. You would think this movie is gonna suck. John Travolta, Urban Cowboy. Actually a pretty decent little drama film. It's like Cowboy, Saturday Night Fever. All right? I wish I was making that up, but I'm not. And I'm sure everybody's very familiar with this one, Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm not going to talk much more about that. And this little DVD I picked up from my good friend Evil Dead Inc. And this is the film that he and his buddies over at 3B Video made, Tapehead. This is on DVD and Blu-ray. Check it out. You can get it on their website. You can find them on Facebook, 3B Video, Tapehead. Pick up your copy. Support independent horror films. All right, that does it for the movies. Now, we did pick up one collectible, and again, continuing the He-Man revelations. Continuing the He-Man revelations, we picked up, or I should say, Charming Amy. Why'd she have to get a nickname close to the name of a movie? Because it was given to her by an actor. All right, we also have Scare Glow, and this is so badass. I will take some other closer photos and put them up while I'm talking about it. This is such a really cool, just very detailed, really awesome action figure that I really am starting to dig this line of toys. I've always been a big fan of collecting toys. I used to have a much, much larger toy collection, but as time goes on and things change, I got rid of it, of course. But anyways, here's our Scare Glow, and he is just awesome, isn't he? Scare Glow. All right. So the final thing that we picked up, and it was like I said, this was the thing that was kind of the nail in the coffin on the whole going out and doing a big old hunt, and that was we got ourselves a Nintendo Switch. Now it's not in the box. This is just the box that it came in. We just picked this up. It also came with, we just got like this yesterday, but it also came with Mario Kart 8. I haven't really done anything with this yet, but here's the fun thing, okay? As I have stated many times, I did not have a Nintendo growing up. The Nintendo that I have back there, I actually picked up at a garage sale in like 2006 or something like that. I never owned an NES. I had a Sega Master System. Yeah, I was that weird kid. I also was friends with the other kid who had the TurboGrafx 16. If you never looked at it, give it the Googles. If you never heard of the Sega Masters, give it the Googles also. But you'll find out. I mean, the Sega Masters was a decent competition for Nintendo. But I always did Sega from there on out. I got the Genesis. Well, I didn't get the Saturn. I wasn't a big fan of it. I ended up picking up the PlayStation, but I digress. Anyways, yes, this is only the second Nintendo I've ever purchased in my life when it was like new, not retro. The only other Nintendo I've ever purchased was my GameCube. Yeah. Like, I bought a GameCube when it first came out, and that was the very first Nintendo I ever bought. Then after I bought that, I got super curious about the N64, and I bought an N64, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this is the second official Nintendo that I've ever picked up in my lifetime when it was still making games, when it was still popular. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is all of our stuff. That's all of our neat finds. All of these movies over here I've got to get to. Again, plug for Tapehead. Check out Tapehead. Also, too, Nintendo Switch, sweet stuff like that. Scareglow, all these movies. All in all, February was a really great time. Charming Amy and I got some really fun stuff. So, hey, thanks for checking out. Thanks for sitting through the video and watching me show you all the cool stuff I picked up this month. So if you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you could do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.